Guess what day it is? It's Monday. Our house Mondays, your room, your platform. I just read out whatever you have to say. Wherever the topic goes, it's your chance to share, to suggest, to educate. A lot of the talk, my friends, throughout the whole week, truly has been about Proposition 22. Got 3 people in the house, got 6, we just doubled it up. Excellent. So feel free to share. We've got 10 people in the house and climbing. Hit that, smash that like button as you come in and wash your hands. Just kidding, you don't have to wash your hands, but do wash your hands when you go out and work, right? And wear your masks. It's Moose is in the house. Techie B's in the house. Mario Cedillo's in the house. Welcome you all. Thank you to the other channel. We back to back in 2 streams. Funny comments. I like that. Great name, Funny Comments. Sounds very positive. Let's see that little icon. Cool. It looks like an Egyptian goose or a duck there. The Muay Thai ref. I like that. Houston in the house. Texas. Which part of Texas? Are you down in, are you in downtown? Are you in close to the water? What's that place called? I was on Bering by, I want to say Tanglewood. Was that right? On Bering. Galveston. Real Rideshare Stories is in the house. South Coast Rides is in the house. Nathaniel Davis is in the house. Downtown, good. Some very good restaurants down in downtown Houston. One of my best friends, your senator, he has his offices down there. He is now your commissioner of Houston, Rodney Houston, one of my best friends for 26 years. Elisha Yeshua Ban of Yahomrick. I like that. That's a long name, but I like it. Sounds like a song. Cruise and Limousines in the house. Monuma Paragons in the house. New Orleans, beautiful city. Beautiful, fun city. A lot of money to be made in New Orleans. Cool, Genuine Phil's in the house. Muhammad Khalil's in the house. Nathaniel says, I like Tell You exposed Kamala Harris and Tony was being related. Look, I think she's talented. I just question the relationship to Tony. Right, but what worries me is that, you know, I mean, he is direct family of hers. So if he needs a favor, wow, it's going to be pretty easy. Now we'll see what happens with Uber this week. I mean, they've got what till August the 25th to get their reply in on their reprieve. They're genuinely talking about the franchise model. I'll go into that briefly. Sacramento's in the house. Sabina Orta, good to see you, man. Hopefully all of you are well. You've had a great weekend. You're staying safe. I'm sure a lot of people have returned back to work out there hustling, doing the trips. You're in California, hopefully using your multiplier nicely. Had a great meeting with an Uber driver today in Long Beach. Came in to get his car repaired, and I was installing a sound system, and he told me that he had some front speakers broken. I gave him a beautiful pair of Kenwood 350 watt speakers. He was happy. Free of charge. That's what we do. Muay Thai Ref says, I've got a trip. Good luck to Cali with rideshare and the fires. Thank you. Very nice of you to say that. Wish us luck. We dodged this hurricane. Okay, you guys, I pray that you have safe in the hurricane. You praying for us in the fires, coast to coast. Thank you. I wish you the same back. Stay safe out there. Abstract Echo, Jimmy's in the house. Biden is in favor of AB5 going nationwide, so I'm guessing Kamala Harris is on the same page. Yeah, I mean, you know, AB5, you got to just really read it and understand it. You just, all I can say is there's a lot of drivers with who are going to vote yes on 22. I'm not going to influence them. All I say is make sure you read all the fine print. I still say, and this is just my opinion, take it as you want it, that too many drivers think that they are independent contractors. You're semi-independent. True independent contractor laws look very, very different. A step in the direction, I can tell you, and that's because of the pressure of AB5, is that the individuals could set their own fares in California, set their own rates, their own multipliers. I spoke to a guy who's consistently doing 1.5 to 2.5. He's telling me he's making a lot of money, right? And the only way we got that multiplier is for Uber to pay the engineers, which they did, modified the platform, California only, and the guys in California are killing it. I'm truly mean killing it. Okay, let me just show you last week's earnings here. Thomas in the house. Let me just show you what my dear friend, week after week after week after week. There we go. August the 17th till August the 24th, $2,103. Plus another $600-700 in private trips, plus tips. Over $3,000 in 1 week. And again, I'm going to say this to you, Dara Koshashawi, Tony West, Randall Heimovicki, all of those Tonys, if you are listening in, it is wrong that California only enjoys this multiplier. I truly, truly hope you guys come to your senses and put this into effect for all states, all cities. I don't see why my brothers and sisters there in Nevada or Arizona. Paul Figueroa is in the house, South Coast ride, amazing ride, way to go. That's it, boys. Paul is very, very good friends with Thomas. Those guys are veteran XL drivers. They know the game. They know how to set those rates. And they're pulling these numbers, right, Paul? Impressive. August 17 to August 24th. That ended yesterday, Monday. Numbers don't lie. There it is. Look at those blue blocks, right? So Alfredo Rosales in the house. Teddy T is in the house. Kazi Kamal's in the house. Techie B says, had a good week, 5 days in San Francisco, 1 day in Sacramento, 1,529, 42 hours. Wow. Lyft only, no multiplier available in Lyft. You have to, Techie, you have to add Uber and use those multipliers. And I tell you, when you use those multipliers, ask Paul, right? On a Uber driver vlogs is in the house, Pennsylvania. We've got a lot of people. Hit that like button, please. You use that multiplier on a Friday night and on a Saturday night. You cannot go wrong, right? Because the people are going out partying again. Demand is high. The driver supply is still low. And people are paying, right? When they're done, when they have been drinking and they are out of the club, they're ready to go. They want to go home. Hey, honey, I'm tired. I want to go home. Okay, honey, but this guy wants 3.5. Just hit it, accept it, and off they go. So you want to say, I would say Friday 10 p.m. right through till Saturday morning, right, 3 a.m. And then the same on a Saturday 10 p.m. all the way through till about 3:30 a.m. is when you can go gangbusters on that multiplier. But we need this in all states and all cities. This is what I'm pushing for. So I'm going to say it over and over again. I'm going to ask people to tweet, to Facebook, to make their videos, that we all need to push for multipliers for all drivers in every single state, my friends. So this here is a big banner right in front of Dara Koshashawi's house. Here people said, drop the ballot measure, drop AB5. Uber claims that 4 out of 5 drivers want to be independent and don't want AB5. And those are the numbers that they're putting out there. And again, however you vote, yes or no, I'm not influencing that. That's your vote. But understand one thing. you really, really, really want to know what a true independent contractor can do and should do, right? So this multiplier is a step in the right direction. South Coast Rides is 5x Irvine to LAX, $260 same day. 5x, guys, just do it. Listen, I'm proud of you because here I am, I'm talking about 3.5 to 5x. In the right time slots, you will get it. There he is. People tell me, oh, BS, you cannot get it. You can. There's the proof. $260, my friends. Now, $260 for one trip, right? He just verified it, and I'm sure he can send the screenshot as proof. I've showed you many, many screenshots, right? In California, you can do it. You just have to be patient. Most drivers are impatient, right? After 5-6 minutes, nothing happens. People are declining them, 3.5, 2.5 decline. Screw this, I'm going to play it safe, 1.2, 1.5. Now, 1.2, 1.5, you will get trips all day long. Okay, cool. You're still making 0.2 and 0.5 more. But when you hit a 5x and you make $260 because the guy is willing to pay, some people are not willing to pay, some people are willing to pay. How many trips do you have to do for $260? So you get that done in an hour. You've used way less gas versus a 3-4 hours busting your back trying to get 260 and you got it in one trip. Go for it. Try it out. And we are going to push and push and push relentlessly until everyone gets to enjoy the multiplier, because the multiplier works, right? And yeah, send me the screenshot so I can show it to the people. I mean, I believe you, my friend. I believe you. I've seen it all day long. But you can send me your screenshot, guys. 480-393-6318. Yeah, absolutely. I invite South Coast Ride to send me that screenshot so I can verify and show you. I showed you already numbers from last week. Thomas Gibson down in San Diego on Excel. You can do that with the this is achieved with the multipliers. Now, these numbers should be done by you in every market. And we don't stop. We are going to rock the house until we get this for everyone. John Durham's in the house. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. He says no on 22. It's a screw over big time. Once you understand what these companies are pushing, good luck to those people who are going to vote yes on 22. Come talk to me in December. You're gonna wish you had not done that, because once that multiplier vanishes, your earnings vanish. Mark my words. Mark my words. Once the multiplier in California vanishes when you vote yes on 22, you are going to cry, right? And right now you're smiling, you're making money, because they have to show some compliance to the state, and that's why they're doing the multiplier. Come yes, if you get the yes on 22, your multiplier is gone. You are going back to the same. Yeah, you're going to have your independence, but you're going to go back to earning nothing. Nothing. Mark my words. That's all I can say, right? And I've been doing this I've been advising for almost 6 years. And 98% of the time I've been right, giving the right advice to people about limos, opening companies, switching categories, what cars to buy, where to buy, what to price. I mean, I can tell you the one thing I pride myself is giving good tips and knowledge. And I'm going to tell you right now, go and vote yes on 22, California drivers. Go and vote yes on 22 and watch. Your multiplier and your opportunity to earn big numbers is gone. Finito. Done. Mario Cedillo's got it right. James Clark. Now it's take a long time to get Uber. Yep. Go Donny Com. What's going on? World in Your Eyes. Good song. Good song. World in Your Eyes. Love and Light. Anyone driving in San Francisco? Marie Samuel's in the house. Left it 4x all day, and people paid it. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you. Look at this. We got South Coast Rider talking about 5x. Got Maurice. I bet you a picture came in right now. 5x to Irvine. Thank you, my friend. 5x. Numbers don't lie, my friend. 1 hour, 22 minutes, 48 miles. Numbers don't lie. I really appreciate this, South Coast, because this is the proof. You see, I trusted the guy and I know that these numbers, because people are doing these numbers. And here you go. Yes, on 22. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Goodbye, these numbers, if you vote yes on 22. Because for them to show AB5 that they're compliant, they have to put in the multiplier. You have to be independent and set your rates. Vámonos when you vote yes on 22. So if you want to milk it, if you want to milk the cows on the meadow, I'm telling you. The next one, I like it. See, he's already sending me to the next one. He says the next one was shorter, 16 miles. 16 miles. Look at that. The very next trip. 16 miles. Took him 27 minutes, right? Now watch this. 1 hour 20 minutes and 1 hour 27 minutes, right? That's 1 hour 47 minutes. That's 10 minutes short. 10 minutes short of 2 hours, right? That's 1 hour and 50 minutes. 300. Am I right in saying the South Coast? $350 in less than 2 hours. Come on, guys. Paul Figueroa says, I have an XL vehicle because of Torsten. I love you, brother. You're good. You're such an awesome individual. Such an awesome human being. You know what? And XL, man, I mean, you can't go wrong, right, Paul, with riding comfort rides and having bigger groups, bigger tips, more luggage, right? He fits more people into his car. He gets paid more than double the rates on UberX, right? And if you look at his car, if you look at what he paid for his car, right, versus what you would pay for an X, it's only a few $1,000s more, and you're in a whole different category, making a whole different amount of money all day long. 2 thumbs up, Paul Figueroa, because they know what they're doing, right? And I'm happy because he's got kids, he's got a family, he's a hard worker, and he's bringing the money home. And you know what? He's enjoying the multiplier. And Paul's not I know Paul, he's not a greedy guy. So I bet you Paul will range anywhere from 1.2, maybe up to 2x max, maybe a bit more. He's not the guy who's going to say, okay, but he's smart. He knows that on a Friday and Saturday night he's going to make money. But what counts at the end of the day, you look from the Monday to the Monday, the guys are making bank. Why are they making bank? Because with the AB5 being voted into law, Uber and Lyft were forced to comply. Now, Lyft didn't completely comply. Uber did. Uber complied more than Lyft by saying, hey, you know what? We are treating them like independent contractors because they can set their own rates. And do you think that Uber is against setting your own rates? No, because when you are earning more, they are earning more. When people are paying 266, they are earning more. When people are earning a 92, they are earning more. Way more than just a regular trip. So think very, very carefully how you vote in November. NOP says, what's up? In NOP in the house, still waiting in Colorado, unemployment. Come on, Colorado, fix the damn error. Pay the people, pay them the money, pay him the money. Why is he waiting? Funny comments, that's not bad, right? It's not quite $100 in 27 minutes. It's $92 in 27 minutes. And you know what? What city are you in, funny comments? You should be making the same money. And the only way you do that, and I got to say, what worked in California, and I'm honestly going to say I'm probably one of the most vocal people that pushed for it, because if it weren't pushed for it, people wouldn't be making these monies. But we're going to go back 5, 6, 7 steps in November with a yes on. You guys think you're independent? Wait, you're going to cry when your multiplier is going on. Mark my words. Mark my words. Alfredo Rosales, those are taxi prices, and all those prices were before Uber. Alfredo, 100% correct. Before Uber, people were used to pay those prices because those were taxi prices. So they don't think it's way, way, way crazy. They are accustomed to paying that prior Uber and Lyft, right? Then they got spoiled for 6, 7, 8, 9 years. They got spoiled. And now people are getting their worth. They're getting their worth, right? This is getting your worth, my friends, for 27 minutes, right? So that's the point I'm trying to drive across here. You don't have to believe me. You definitely don't have to believe me, right? Dodonicom says, hold them hostage. I like it. Kazi Kamal says, as a driver, if we vote no on Prop 22, but all the rider will vote yes. So we can't, look. Okay, let's back up. You got a good, Kazi, you got a very, very good point there. You brought a very, very good point, right? If the drivers would vote no on 22, Kazi says the riders would vote, the riders would vote yes. And you're correct. You're right, they will. But I want to tell you something. There are over 30 million people in California. And I will tell you something. Not every one of those 30 million people has an Uber account. So the majority, what we need to, or what I need to do is to get, and you need to do is to get into contact with the individuals. Let's say the non-riders. The non-riders, I believe, will decide this for us, right? Anyways, we shall see. So, Proposition 22 is a November ballot measure that aims to exempt ride-sharing and food delivery firms from AB5. Prop 22 was created and funded by Uber and Lyft and DoorDash, Postmates, and Instacart as a way to skirt AB5. Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash have given $30 million apiece to support the measure. If Californians vote the measure into effect in November, Uber and Lyft will get exactly what they want and will be able to continue saving costs by paying drivers as independent contractors. Independent contractors. They did get spoiled. You're right. They are like drunk rats, right? Because they've paid nothing. They're getting 5-star service. They're getting good smelling cars. They're getting mints. They're getting waters. They're getting all of these luxuries for nothing. For nothing. Pay up. Right? Pay up. Now, California court on Thursday granted Uber and Lyft a stay in their appeal of a court ruling that said drivers must be classified as employees, not contractors. If they weren't given the extra time, the companies were threatening to shut down. We know all of this. Just a quick recap, their business throughout California. And if the companies had shut down, riders would have been cut off from the convenience of booking rides on the apps, which likely would have incentivized Californians to back Proposition 22, the measure that will appear on the ballot in November election. Prop 22 strives to exempt ride-sharing and food delivery companies from the Assembly Bill 5 gig worker law that was passed in September. Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash have poured $110 million in to support the measure. Why some either support or oppose 22. We're going to look at that just now. Right? Why some, Lorenzo Davis is in the house. Now that, they threatened to cut 80% of the drivers. It's not going to happen. But the article that we need to get to is that they are seriously thinking about a franchise model. And the writer, that's just their opinion, just the writer's opinion, that won't fix the gig economy's problems. We'll go into that. We have plenty of time. We're going to be another article that I'm going to cover. Very, very interesting story here. Very interesting headlines. And that is Uber Eats could be underpaying delivery drivers on 21% of trips, according to a programmer who reportedly built a tool that found the app was lowballing the miles that drivers travel. I'll tell you what, attorneys are all over this, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. Another interesting article. This is how Uber and Lyft operate, right? We'll get there. Matthew Kleinedam in the house. Is that a Dutch last name? Kleinedam? Just curious. South Coast writes, says Lyft rates are so low, should just turn off Lyft or only take Lux Black and XL only. Correct. So here, why are Black and Latino advocacy groups backing Uber, Lyft in California labor law fight? I tell you why. It's because Uber and Lyft are funneling monies to these advocacy groups. We saw it live. Kevin, the entrepreneur, and I exposed the story in Sacramento when Uber and Lyft were paying drivers $100 to show up with a t-shirt and say, hey, vote yes on 22. They were getting $100 credit cards. They were paid shills, right? And I mean, hey, for any driver, whether they vote yes or no, they show up to get a $100 card, right? We were interviewing drivers that showed us what they got, $100. They have so much money to buy the vote. That's why they are buying the Black and the Latino vote, right? Who do they team up with? Latino and Black advocacy groups are front and center in an expensive campaign challenging a new California labor law that demands employers provide benefits for more workers. In one corner are the diverse unions that advocated for the labor laws known as Assembly Bill 5. When lawmakers debated it and Governor Newsom signed it last year, they say the new law provides all workers a better opportunity to earn living wage and get ahead. On the other side, a collection of Black and Latino advocacy groups have joined with Silicon Valley. They've joined with Uber and Lyft giants to campaign for an initiative that would exempt app-based drivers for companies like Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash from the law. The groups aligned with the tech companies for Proposition 22 include the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, which normally sides with employers. So if the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce normally sides with employers, what do you think made them flip the switch? What do you think made them put the weight behind their Latino community and say, hey, vote yes on 22? Money. It's when Uber and Lyft send the checks. That's what they do. They pay $4 for a signature. They pay a $100 debit card to a guy that shows up at a rally in Sacramento. They have a lot of moolah, my friends. They got a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of cash to buy votes. And historically, this California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce sided with employers. I ask you, dear California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, why all of a sudden are you telling your people to vote yes, to go against what you preach? Very interesting, right? And the National Action Network, the civil rights group funded by Reverend Al Sharpton. Reverend Al Sharpton, love him or hate him, right? He will follow the money. He'll follow the cash, right? They argue the initiative would allow drivers the freedom and flexibility to set their own schedules and earn a living as independent contractors. What Reverend Al Sharpton doesn't know, what the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce doesn't know, right, is that these people are not true independent contractors. For Uber to show California that they were going in the right direction of independent contractorship, they brought in the biggest moneymaker, the multiplier, allowing Californians to set their own rates, right? 1 hour, 22 minutes to set their own rates, right? If it wasn't for AB5, the people right now would not be making the big money. Mark my words. So when yes on 22 comes, that beautiful multiplier is gone. Now they won. Now it's back to the same old. What was the same old? 60 cents per minute. Yes, there will be a minimum. There will be a minimum, right? But all those other luxuries of surges, multipliers, vamonos. Mark my words. So Anybody hear the story about rideshare trickster? There was a shootout or something like that. Did anybody hear about that? Shot at his car. I don't know the true story. I really don't. One of the things we find is that this creates opportunities for our communities to work when they want to work and work at the level and the intensity that they want to work. That I agree with. I am all for everyone working when they want to work. If they want to put 12 hours, 16 hours on 2 apps, 24 hours, be careful if you do that, 12 and 12 hours. You need sleep, right? I'm all for that. And we've got to push for that flexibility needs to remain. But what also needs to remain, folks, is that you have the power to set your own fares. So when you know on a Friday and Saturday night, this is my opportunity on a Friday to Saturday night to make as much money as I do on all Thursday, on all Wednesday, you have that power. His group is among the Latino, Black, and Asian American organizations appearing in ads and sending letters to elected officials asking for exemptions to the labor law. The same groups also have been promoted by Uber and Lyft this year, which have been touting charitable contributions. Charitable contributions. Nifty 50, I love you back, brother. Much love. Thank you. Very nice. And those kind words inspire me. That's what keeps me going. When you say things like that, you know, it makes every minute, every hour you put into this worth it, right? Because I don't blah, 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 blah. I have a big loud mouth. And I'm not afraid of anything, nothing, right? But one thing I do is I research. Whether it's making a business decision, I look at it from all angles. Even real estate right now. I want to make real estate investments, but will the housing prices go down? You know, there was the mortgage companies had several months of forgiveness, right? You didn't have to pay a mortgage. I see a lot of foreclosures happening in the 90 days. So that doesn't mean there's real estate prices come down. I weigh up all the odds, the pros and cons, the pros, the super, super low interest rates, 2.9%. But reality is in 90 days, housing prices are going to go down. That's my take, right? So you got to look and weigh up everything. And it's the same with rideshare. You got to look at the yes on 22. You got to look at the no on 20. You have to weigh it up, right? You have to weigh it up. Kevin Charbonneau says, you're pretty much the only person I listen to on this topic. I really trust that you have what you have to say. And I love how you present the information. I just love you being part of the show, you know, and that doesn't mean, it honestly doesn't mean I'm always right, but I will look at everything, you know. I'm one of a few YouTubers that actually went to Sacramento, you know, and when you're at these capitals and you're in and out the doors and you're schmoozing and you're talking to politicians and you're setting up meetings, they have to know who's there. Hey, this is who I am. I have a big social media following. Okay, the moment you say that, okay, well, this guy I have to be a little bit careful because he can obviously reach voters. They always think about the votes, right? Right? If you average Joe walking into there or average Joe writing a letter, well, you might get a standard reply. But it's how you show up, even at the protests and the strikes, right? How effective are your banners? Are you working the microphones? Are you working the cameras? You got to get out there and listen and learn. And all I want to say, Matthew, I love you for that, brother. All I want to say is, right now, my friends, right now, okay, it's a bit of a gamble going out there each day because of COVID. But drivers are not stupid people. They're super smart, right? They have everything. They've got the sanitizers. They have everything in the car to make sure that their safety, their health is numero uno, number one, always. Your health is number one. So you go out there and you're making money in these times, right? But you're making more money than ever, at least in California, because you pushed and fought. You pushed and fought for AB5. And because they're so fearful of AB5, these big companies, right, they start complying. Okay, we'll build this. We'll give them, let them set their rates. The more you stack up on this side, the more you push these guys down, the more they want to come back up and meet you and match you, right? It's all a matter of negotiating. It's a game. So because we stacked the chips here, so much pressure, they had to raise the bar. They had to show the state, you know what? Okay, you say that they're not true independent contractors. We'll do this, this, and this. One of the best things that DARA did for California was, sadly, very late in the game, but to allow drivers to set their own rates. And if a driver wants to stay at 1x and earn the same, okay. But the other driver around the corner is already on 1.2 and 1.4, 1.5 and making way more than Mr. 1x. And the other guy, like South Coast Ride and a few others here, that on a Friday or on a Saturday night are hitting 5x and get that $266 or that $92.27, they're making money. Money that they never made in 2019. Wrong or right? Please correct me, South Coast. Please correct me if I'm saying that, right? And the big issue, the big problem, and literally I sound like a parrot here, right? Why do drivers in Scottsdale, why don't they have this? Why are my buddies up in St. George, Utah, why don't have this? Why don't they have this? Why are the guys in Miami, Florida, why don't they have this multiplier built in? So why are these double standards with Uber and Lyft? What's good for California is not good for Arizona. What's good for California is not good for New Mexico. What's good for California is not good for Nevada. It's double standards, right? And the only way we increase the standards in California for more pay, people are making more money today. I will guarantee, I'll put any dollar amount that in the last 2 weeks, your earnings in California were way higher compared to the year before. Go and compare your numbers. Go and compare these 2 weeks in August to last August, day and night. 30% more, at least. Why? Because we pushed for AB5. So go ahead, vote yes on 22. Let's have a conversation on the 4th, the 5th, the 10th of November. Let's have a conversation just before Christmas. So, okay, this is the part that I Go Donnycom says, I just saw the video. He uploaded a video where he got shot. He got shot at or he got shot. Very big difference. Did a bullet penetrate his body or did it hit his car? Can somebody give me the real story? Because I'm getting little pieces of information. It's Moose says, I think a lot of drivers are afraid of deactivation if they were to change the multiplier. Well, okay, but that's, if they change the multiplier, you worried about deactivation? Michael Maffey, look who's in the house. Professor Michael Maffey, bingo. Uber only added the multiplier to try to comply with AB5. If they become exempt, no need to have it anymore. And I want to thank Michael Maffey for, from Penn State, professor at Penn State, for putting together probably one of the most smartest and most comprehensive surveys. The only other person that I can think that can create surveys of his level. You've raised the bar, Michael, by the way, with that. Has anybody go to my Penn State video, go and participate in that 10-minute survey. They have 3 surveys, and Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have $4,500 in total on Amazon gift cards. You can win $25 gift cards per survey. There's 3 surveys. They will be coming out step by step by step. I mean, you can make as much as $75 in Amazon cards by participating in Penn State survey. And again, maybe you could shed some more light for us on that, Michael Maffey, but good to see you here. Hey, Kevin Carbonneau's got to go. Be safe out there. Drive safe, please. Right? Stay safe. Take care of your family. And we look forward to seeing you again. All right, so that is pretty much all I wanted to say on this topic here. Why are Black and Latino advocacy groups backing Uber and Lyft in California labor law fight? Because they're getting donations. They're getting monies towards their charities. They're getting paid, right? So Uber infiltrates these advocacy groups, pays them, and gets their vote. Not quite my style, right? But if you've got all the money in the world that the drivers are bringing in, I guess it can go through the back door, pay for the vote. I guess that's how they operate, right, Dara? That's how you do it over there. Anyway, so a little bit on this, on the Uber Eats people, and I'm sure that a lot of Uber Eats, if this all comes out and is true, an Uber Eats delivery worker claimed he collected data showing that the company has been consistently underpaying drivers. Amin Sami, who is also a computer programmer, built a tool for drivers to track their trips and determine if the company was paying them fairly, found out that Uber wasn't paying them for an average of 1.3 miles driven on 21% of the trips. Despite a surge in demand for food delivery during the pandemic, workers have seen their pay decline as out-of-work Americans flood the platforms, forcing earnings to be split between more of them. Even before the pandemic, many ride, hail, and delivery drivers reported earning less than minimum wage, and regulators have started cracking down, casting doubt on the sustainability of the gig economy business model. So they're under a tremendous pressure. This one here, a programmer and Uber Eats delivery worker, again, built this tool, is a computer scientist who until recently worked at self-driving car company Argo AI and has been working part-time for Uber Eats since leaving. Built a Chrome browser extension called Uber Cheats. Uber Cheats, how's that? Uber Cheats, right? Not Uber Eats, here it is, hashtag Uber Cheats. I bet you that got a ton of attention, right? That helps drivers track their trips and pay, and said the initial data showed Uber shorting delivery workers on 25 to 30% of trips. Dara Khosrowshahi, that is true. Tony West, if that is true. Randall Heimovicki, if that is true. Katie Weitzman, if that is true at Uber. Shame on you individuals. Is this how the Travis 2.0 plays out? That you have to go and screw over Uber Eats and cheat them out of these miles? Take them away here, take them away there, taking away 21% of their miles. If that is true, all hell's going to break loose. You guys have to pay these individuals and own up, and you've got to get chopped. You've got to get fired, right? This is wrong. I had to give someone a time out there because Matthew, not cool, dude. Not cool, Matthew. Doesn't make you a hero in my eyes. That trash talk. Uber Eats drivers and bike couriers, like most food delivery workers, are paid in part on a per mile basis. And Samuel told Business Insider that his data showed them being underpaid by an average of 1.3 miles on those 21% of trips his tool tracked. The front. 5. High five. I want regulation, not employmentation. I like that. I want regulation, not employmentation. Good. Okay. And if you want to, in a series of messages, why don't you break it down for us exactly what you want, right? We got to be precise, right? What are we looking for? What needs to stay? What needs to go? What needs to be implemented, right? So we have this tussle back on yes and no, right? Then if you say, I want regulation, not employmentation. Look, very fair comment. but break it down. What is it precisely, right, that you believe needs to stay? What can be bettered? What needs to go? How do you stand on the vote? Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am not here to convince anyone yes or no on 22. You have to go and do the research. You hear what I have to say. It's just an opinion, right? Scott Tucker's in the house. Yeah, absolutely. I like that, Scott Tucker. That's a great name. Credit professor. Absolutely. I think that's a great name. We can do a video on that. We could do a Zoom meeting or a FaceTime where you come onto my show. And Alex Schenefeld, are you sure 5X will work? I'm in Fullerton. So Alex, let's just say, good question. Alex, just say you're down in Newport Beach, right? On a Saturday night. You know the area, right down there. Across PCH where all the hotels are, the bars and everything. If you're looking at 1 a.m., very busy, a lot of people got to go, people need to go to the next party, tourists, need to maybe return to their hotels or they're going out. Try out 3.5 or 4X down in Newport Beach, right down at the end of the 55. Try it out, right? Now, if Alex is starting in Fullerton, happens to end up to come over to LAX on a Friday after work, super busy, 4 or 5 p.m., why don't you try it? If you're down in Santa Monica, if you're over in Hollywood or West Hollywood, why don't you just try it, the 5X? It doesn't mean to give up after 5 minutes. You wait 10 minutes, put it out there. Very well said. South Coast writes, as Proposition 22 is a compromise to become employees. If pressed on AB5, then hope we can become the true independent contractors. They need to step up a bit more. And it's good that AB5 is happening. And you can agree or not agree with me, but AB5 has and is raising the game. Do you agree or disagree with me? That with that pressure of AB5, the game has been raised. They have to step it up. They have to step it up, right? I think AB5 is one of the best things that could have happened to drivers in California, right? And even if AB5 does not stick in November, it raises the bar because we have been mounting the chips all the time here that they had to add the chips, right? AB5 has done a lot for drivers. Even if it doesn't stick in November, it has done a tremendous lot. So Dennis Torres says, no on Prop 22, don't let them fool you. If past Uber is going to do whatever they want with you, right? And you know what, when Uber gets the yes on 22, goodbye multipliers, back to the same old. The only thing that I think you would be guaranteed is a minimum per hour, which you make anyway. Now you can make the big money, right? Now you can truly make the big money. Or Noah Amrani says, go back to 80-20 or 75-25. Very, very valid comment. Very reasonable percentage, right? 80-20, 75-25, pretty much the same. It's very reasonable. Or go back to that. So Tris says, Rideshare Trickster has a webcam video of actual event that took place. Maybe we need to look at that. I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. Let's see it. We have a lot to cover here today. So we discussed the Uber Eats, Uber Cheats. We've done that one. Let's see. I have. I'm on 2G. Let me switch to my 5G platform. No wonder it's so slow. There we go. Now it's loading quickly. Rideshare Trickster. Rideshare Trickster. Come on, man. Why is my internet going down? Bear with me. I just switched to 5G. I was on a 2G platform. Let's go, Spectrum. Okay. And a lot of text messages. Here's another one. Paul Figueroa, 37 minutes, also $92 from San Diego on an XL. On an XL. All right, let's see. How are the Lakers doing? Anybody got some score for me? I think they started at 6 p.m. I'm doing a live feed while my favorite team is on. Anybody a little update there? Rideshare Trickster. There it is. I haven't seen this one, so this is new to me. Mark Roughton in the house. The front. Work dress is required. Base pay of $15 plus expenses, taxes out of every paycheck. Don Whitmer's in the house. It's his opinion. Okay. Doesn't mean there was one shot. Sounded like a little bit far away. So why do you get out? Why are you getting out? Just drive away. The fuck out of there. You're a sitting duck right now. Why are you sitting somewhere where you've heard 2 gunshots from a... You don't know if it's at you. Could be... Drive. Now you drive. Third time, you're still going to sit around? Now he takes off.
I just got shot at. I've got bullet holes in my car. I don't believe I was hit.
I don't believe I was hit.
Tell me where you are. Laurel Way. Like Laurel? Yes.
So I had to look at this whole video, but I go by my quick gut instinct. You go somewhere, there was one shot that was from quite a distance because it would have been way louder, right? Reaction. Why do you get out the car? Why do you get out the car? Do you have a gun on you? Do you want to get into a fight? Right? If you know it's a gunshot already on the first one, you leave. You do not get out of the car, right, you trickster? Doesn't make any sense to me, right? Then you get shot a second time, a little bit louder. Maybe the person's walking towards you. It was louder than the first time, right? So maybe they're walking in your direction. You have no idea if he's speculating that the shot went into his car. Speculating, right? So it tells 911. I may have been, I'm not sure if I was hit, but my car was hit. You would have heard it if his car was hit. It would have been a loud clang sound. Doesn't sound like the car was hit. And then you're waiting around for the third shot. right? First could have been fatal. Second could have been fatal. It's getting louder. Third was even louder. Then you take off. Doesn't make any sense. You need some South African training, my friend. You asking for shit. You want to lose your life? I don't know, right, you trickster? Dude, I love you, dude, but don't do this type of shit. First shot you hear, which was from a distance, you get out of there. You may be in the wrong area. Wrong time, wrong place. Get out of there. Maybe there's a quarrel. Maybe there's a gang deal that didn't go. You get out of there. Why get out the car and start investigating? Second shot is fired. Still sitting. Car's not moving. Third shot is fired. And see how slowly he took off. You lost me. Sorry, I have a lot of questions. And rightfully so. I have a lot of questions. And I want to just hear the real story, what happened. That's all. Okay, so why some either support or oppose Proposition 22. 10-0 for the Lakers. It's not a smart move, Dennis. Dennis, I know you and I are street hustlers. I know. I can see I can see my brother. I can see it in his energy. He's like me. Dennis is not going to make a stupid mistake like that, right? I'm sure you would agree with me, Dennis, that if we're in Long Beach, you and I are talking in the car and we hear one gun. Hey, we're going to go out. We're not going to go and play the hero, right? We're not armed. Dennis and I are not armed, so we're not going to go out there trying to find the shooter. Let's not play heroes, guys. You get out. And Rideshare Trickster, I can tell you what, that first shot was probably a few hundred feet away, maybe 200 feet away from the sound of it. You get out, you go. I know, Dennis, I'm not stupid, and I'm not calling you stupid. Absolutely. I know that you know what had to be done in that situation. And then calls 911 after the third shot. I got shot at. My car got shot. You don't know if your car got shot at. You would have heard it. You would have heard it. Either the windscreen or your metal. A bullet penetrating a car makes a specific sound, right? And then, have you been shot? I don't know if I've been shot. Believe me, you can look. Blood running anywhere? No, I'm good. I didn't get shot. Uber and Lyft say the measure would allow drivers to keep working whenever they want to, which is why some drivers also reportedly support Proposition 22. Uber and others would also be required to pay drivers 130% of the minimum wage per each hour of driving time and kick in small amounts towards drivers' health, occupational, and liability insurance. Still, upgrading drivers to employee status could add up to 30% in labor costs for them, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. So, if you look at what Uber is proposing now on 22, right? 130% of the minimum wage, guess what? That's a step up, right? As far as your minimum goes, right? And a little bit of a benefit paid into health and occupational and liability insurance. So there's a little bit of an improvement. They could do way better, right? So they really, really want to pay you the minimum. But what happens now to, for example, the rates? Will it stay at 60 cents? Will it become even less? Right now, with AB5, they stamped on January the 1st, 2020, the best thing that could have ever happened to any California driver is the multiplier. The best thing that has ever happened to any driver. You go Donny Kong, you drive away. First shot fired, you drive away. Do not play the hero. One stray shot. People have shot into a house. 99% of the time you don't hit anyone. Maybe they shot into a living room, fatally shot someone. If you're in the wrong place in the right time, with bullets flying. I know, been there many, many times in South Africa, being shot at, machine gun fire, but I've had a lot of luck. But one thing I do know is once that tap, 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 or that pop, pop, pop goes, you get the hell out of there and stay low. Don't put yourself up, hey, here I am. Go stealth, boom, 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 zigzag, run, zigzag. They can't keep up with you, right? Zigging around. You run in a straight line, all he has to do is line up and pop you, right? If you're zigzagging away, go hide through the bushes, boom, boom, go, run, walk, get out of the neighborhood, get away from the gunfire. Been there, done that, right? But something doesn't add up here. The front, we wouldn't need the multiplier if we set our own rates. Okay, I want to be on the same page as you, right? I want to be on the same page as you. We wouldn't need the multiplier if we could set our own rates. That is pretty much what setting your rates is, right? The multiplier. There's a base, like let's say there's a base price, is what they suggest. Now they give you the freedom to go down or up. Going down to 0.9 or 0.7, I heard it is possible, right? But setting your own rates is going up 1.2, 1.5. You're setting your own rates, right? You fairly much know what 1x is all about. You know what you're getting paid per mile. You know what you're getting paid per minute. Now do you want to push up the price? To me, it's talking about pretty much the same thing, the front. And I'm not talking against you or over you. I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. I do feel, however, that if you have this multiplier, it is a massive, massive step in the right direction. Anonymous giraffes in the house. Yay for Kobe, Kobe's team. What are they doing? Thank you for the updates. Cool, genuine Full is giving me amazing updates here. Watched another great sports game. I watched the Champions League, Bayern Munich beat Paris Saint-Germain yesterday with my kids. Watched the full 95 minutes. Right now, thank you, Phil. Just checking in. So Heat is through. Celtics are through. They're both 1-4-0. Rockets and Thunder are tied 2-2. Dallas and Clippers are tied 2-2. Lakers are leading 2-1. 17-4. Well, that's still a little bit close, right? It still hasn't been decided. John Durham says 5.0 is the tolerable rate. Eat that, Derek. Hey, I like that. I'll drink to that. I like that. Some good humor there. You can go negative 0.5, not 0.05. No ways. Seriously? Nah, I'm not buying that. Negative 0.05. Or you're saying negative 0.5. Is that what you mean? Half? Like half X, but not 0.05. That's nothing. I mean, that's like 5 cents, right? Jose Almeida. So is 5X surge the highest? Here we get flat dollar surge. Crap, poop emoji. It starts at $1 flat surge and 70 cents a mile. And what city are you in, Jose? Would you share, please? Would you share with us what city you're in, brother? Negative half. Wow. That's not good. Driving the prices down, negative 0.5. God, I hope no drivers do that. I hope no drivers do that. So Jose is in Westchester County, New York. Now, New York, this driver, Jose, subscriber, awesome guy, is always in our feeds. Why shouldn't Jose tonight or on the weekend, Saturday, 2 days ago, be able to set 5X in his city in Westchester? Why not? Dara, what's your answer to that? Why am I here in Los Angeles able to set 5X and a fellow driver, both human beings, both drivers, both drive, both have a car, both work for Uber? Why doesn't he have that privilege? I think that's a good, valid question, right? New Zealand Uber Vicky's in the house. I was getting 1.5 surge at the weekend, but you don't have the multiplier in New Zealand. You don't have the multiplier where you can set your own rates on Saturday night, right, Vicky? You don't have that 3.5x opportunity. SoCal rideshare stories. I never have my multiplier lower than 3.5. Thank you. Smart driving. Smart driving. And you're making, and let me ask you a question, honest question. If you look at your August numbers, your August 2020 numbers, my question is to SoCal rideshare stories. And when you get a chance later, go back and compare them to your August 2019. Add up all the weeks, or look at July against July or June against June. You tell me if this thing is working for you or not working for you. John Durham correctly says 5x for everyone. And we are not going to stop. We're not stopping until we get 5x for everyone. It's only fair. I feel it's, I'm in California and I'm saying this. It is so wrong that people here in LA, Orange County, San Diego, San Francisco get that functionality, get that tool, and someone over in New Jersey or New York is not getting it. I mean, talk about hypocrites and double standards, Dara. South Coast Ride says, if you have 5X on, just try it. Just try it. I agree. Just try it out. You may make more money than what the EDD pays you in one whole week. Thank you. Amen. Very well said. Slick Nick is in the house. Sorry, I haven't acknowledged you yet. Slick Nick, our house, your house. Dara plays with Simple Minds. Simple Mind. Don't you forget about us. Remember, don't you forget about John. Don't you forget about Jose and Phil and Dennis and Vicky and Torsten and Moose and Jimmy and Giraffe. Slap you awake, Dara. Alrighty, now I'm fired up. That coffee's kicking in. 5x, 3.5x. Come on, man. Everybody should be running in the race. Everyone should be in that race, not just California. So, Uber CEO, my favorite friend, Dara Khosrowshahi, favorite, has said the company and other gig-based firms should form a so-called benefits fund to cover expenses like healthcare fees and to maintain worker flexibility for drivers. Now, his understanding of a benefit fund, they did some calculations. Some people said, okay, well, the max you could pay into that benefit fund is about $1,200 a year. What is $1,200? That's more than my transmission costs if I need to fix it, right? Bustelo Espresso coffee here. I'm super wired. I love it. I'm going to have to try some of this. The stuff that I got, I think it's called bulletproof or something like that. It's insane. It's insane in the membrane. And I've been driving since 4 a.m. this morning, folks. 4 a.m. Did some private trips. And then I went over and I worked on my car, the red light district. This is the lowest of my, there it is. So the other states can see it. Negative 0.5. Right, there's 1x. And for the guys and girls that really desperate, that really want to FUCK it up for everyone, they set it at 0.5. And that's just an example. You showed me that's not what this person sets, right? That's not what Nicholas sets. He was just showing how low can you go? How low can we go? How low can we go? 0.5. You are not even gonna. I mean, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get if you set a 0.5? What benefits are you gonna get? Nothing. So I did some trips in the morning, very early, back-to-back LAX, private, made good money. And then let me just show you what I did afterwards, maybe for 5-6 hours, which is like therapy for me. Worked away on the old Chevy. Chipping away at the Chevy. Dun, 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 dun. Coming along. We'll be doing many live feeds from that place. Noah Rani says they keep on stealing from drivers and having all these lawsuits and paying more and more money. Why can't they just pay the drivers and stay away from the bad karma? So let's break that down, because you're on the. Thank you, Alex Ross. I appreciate it. It's a beast. If you see the engine, it's raised, big tires in the back. It's like a hot rod. It's an animal, that car. 350 transmission. But I want to answer Noah's. Let me read it again. They keep on stealing from the drivers and having all these lawsuits. So we know Travis, and we know how Travis built the company, right? By secretly, stealing data, secretly doing this, blah, 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 blah. The lawsuit list was never ending under Travis. And you honestly thought that, hey, maybe things will change. Maybe when Dara came into power and said, you know what, we're going to restore credibility, we're going to get respect back. Even worse. I mean, you had Travis, and then you had like Travis 2.0, which is Dara. Right? And as long as you move in that culture, deception, stealing, manipulation, whatever they do over there, it will be lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. It won't stop. And when they have to fund all these lawsuits and they have to pay out these damages and these settlements, and UK drivers have to be paid and blah, 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 guess who pays that, right? Guess who brings in the money? Guess who gets chopped even more and more? The drivers. So how are we doing on the Lakers? 27-10. Thank you for the update. I'm getting great updates here from Phil. Jose Almeida says they have never stopped paying drivers the 80-20 split. If they never stopped paying the 80-20 split, then they would have never been regulated. There we go. I mean, AB5 was brought. Who do you think they have to blame for AB5? Dara and John Zimmer, right? They brought that upon themselves. Had they just played the game, had they just been fair, had they just treated people fairly, had they just had the guts to raise the rates for the riders a little bit, they would have never, ever brought AB5 upon themselves. And all these legal problems and all these quagmires, blah, blah, blah. Amarush at Mohammed says, I'm getting 0 with Lyft. Why are you not on Uber? Amarush, just a question. If you could answer me there. Thank you. Dennis says, vote no on Prop 22 so they can fire Dara. I like it. I like your thinking, Dennis. VCS, do you have a rideshare insurance? Yes, indeed. You have to. I mean, you have regular insurance, rideshare insurance, and then there's the TCP limo insurance, right? And it gets more and more expensive, but the earnings are more and more, are higher and higher. SoCal Rideshare Story says, when I started, I made $2.30 a mile for an extra. Those were the good times, right? The real good times. Let's see, Laura, how are the Lakers doing, honey?
I have no idea. I'll go check. Are they playing?
30-12, yeah, they're doing good. So our big day is just around the corner. Correcto? Saturday. So let me tell you what else Khosrowshahi said. Our current employment system is outdated and unfair. He says that now after 10 years, right? Khosrowshahi wrote in a recent New York Times op-ed. Did you guys read that? You got to read that. It forces every worker to choose between being an employee with more benefits but less flexibility, or an independent contractor with more flexibility but almost no safety net. That's sort of how he starts that op-ed. President Trump's campaign has expressed support for the companies and for Prop 22, calling AB 5 out as an all-out assault on workers that could lead to job losses. However, drivers would still technically not be considered full or part-time employees with the attendant rights and benefits under state law Prop 22, which is one of the factors driving critics to oppose the measure. Prop 22 won't be voted until November, but the stay issued Thursday will last until the outcome of the appeal has been decided, which may or may not happen before voters head to the polls. So that's an uncertainty right there, right? Well, we pray for you, JT. I hope you're okay, dude. By reading that, do share, do share. James Clark says, last time I drove for Uber, I was making 60 cents a mile. What is that? 60 cents a mile. Come on, Uber. I mean, $1 a mile is already pathetic. No, we pay people 60 cents a mile. So you're saying you drive 5 miles, you got to drive there first, pick the person up, do another 5 miles, and you're getting paid $3. Positive vibes for JT. Getting a lot of good energy coming your way. So that leaves the question of what the companies will do in the time after the stay runs out, before they get an answer on Prop 22. Drivers and labor advocates have long argued that Uber and Lyft's businesses are harmful to workers because they pay them lower wages and provide fewer benefits like unemployment and health insurance. Our state and workers shouldn't have to foot the bill when big businesses try to skip out on their responsibilities, Javier Becerra, the Attorney General behind a May lawsuit against the firm, said, according to Cal Matters. Okay, so we covered that one. So Uber and Lyft are thinking about a franchise model, and you don't have to stress out if you're in Arizona or Florida or Texas, because this franchise model concerns California. Last week, Uber and Lyft threatened to shut down in California if they were forced to comply with the law. Blah, 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 blah. However, the company is already preparing for the day of reckoning. Listen to this. However, the companies are already preparing for the day of reckoning should they lose their legal battle, and reportedly considering switching to a franchise model. Under the plan, the companies would license their brand names and technology to owners of traditional taxi fleets. The fleet owners would employ the drivers, allowing Uber and Lyft to continue to avoid the cost associated with employment. So that's the idea behind that, right? So they're considering switching to a franchise model. Under that plan, the companies Uber and Lyft would license their brand names and technology to owners of traditional taxi fleets, right? The fleet owners would employ the drivers, allowing Uber and Lyft to continue to wash their hands and avoid the costs associated with employment. That's what they're thinking about right now. Rideshare is doing a live stream right now. Who rides you? Rideshare Trickster? Rideshare Trickster? All right, let's see what he says. I'm going to ask him some straight up questions, man. Why? Strange story.
Last time,
I don't see anything streaming right now. Nothing streaming. I don't see any streaming going on. South Coast right. TCP, your own boss. 100% correct. No, I don't see any. I don't see any streams. I don't. Sorry. Back to the franchise. Should they go through with the plan of the franchise, it would actually represent a return to the roots of the gig economy, which began with older business models like franchising. It would also emphasize that addressing misclassification issues is not enough. The problem of large corporations using legal strategies, which Tony West and Darryl are very good at, to skirt laws protecting workers goes far beyond misclassification and the so-called gig economy. The essence of the gig economy is control without responsibility. Interesting, right? The essence of the gig economy is control. They write the algorithms without any responsibility towards you. You take all the responsibility, pile the miles on your car, pay your insurance, pay the maintenance, right? Very, very powerful sentence. The essence of the gig economy is control without responsibility. Uber and Lyft use electronic surveillance and algorithmic carrots and sticks to coordinate the activity of drivers without triggering the legal responsibility and costs that go with employment. Gig companies argue that despite being subject to this algorithmic control, each driver is not an employee, but rather an entrepreneur running an independent business. Now, how are you independent, Uber? How are you independent, Lyft, if you are controlling the algorithm, if you're dictating everything on your end? So you say we're independent contractors. Listen up here. This is the point that a lot of people are missing. They think they're independent, but they're not. Because the algorithms and the control, the carrots, are all set up by Uber and Lyft, right? If you truly had that independence, you'd be using this multiply and setting your own rates more in Arizona, in Florida, in Texas, and all the other places. Uber and Lyft can pull this off because they are following in the footsteps of franchisors. My God, this is difficult. Franchisors like McDonald's and Jiffy Lube, which decades ago pioneered the legal mechanisms of gaining control over far-flung business empires without triggering legal employment relationships. These mechanisms, known in antitrust law as vertical restraints, are contract terms that minutely prescribe the product offerings, hours of operation, and even the precise way cashiers greet the customer for each unit in a franchise chain. Vertical restraints are why every McDonald's looks the same, even though most of them are owned by independent franchisees. During the initial franchising boom in the 1960s, many legislators and courts were hostile to the idea of large corporations dictating to independent small businesses how they must run their businesses. As a congressional staffer put it to a franchisor during 1965 hearing, if a franchisee is told what product he is to buy, what prices he has to charge, what operations he has to operate in, then he is no longer independent, is he? Absolutely valid question, right? As is happening now with Uber and Lyft. The ensuing congressional hearings, Federal Trade Commission investigations, and court cases debated whether franchising would become a viable business model. In 1977, a landmark court case between a television manufacturer and its franchisee, Continental TV versus GTA Sylvania, decided the issue of vertical restraints in favor of franchisors. Henceforth, franchisors would have wide latitude to impose contractual controls on nominally independent businesses. Uber and Lyft would follow in their footsteps. Uber and Lyft would literally follow in McDonald's footsteps. 43 to 25, end of the first. Thank you for the update. My lady is making pasta. It sounds like she's making a lot of pasta because I just hear like a lot of pasta going into the thing. Oh, you got the green clay mask on?
Sorry.
I love it.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. The problem of corporations using legal mechanisms to avoid responsibilities to workers is much larger than the gig economy. Franchising is just one example of what David Weil, Dean of the Heller School for Social Policy and Management, calls fissured workplaces, in which lead firms replace direct employment of workers with outside contractors such as temp agencies, subcontractors, and franchisees. The lead firm controls how the work is done through vertical restraints and similar legal mechanisms, but without having the responsibilities to the workers doing the work. Workplace fissuring reduces wages by blocking workers from access to higher wages, career ladders, and workplace protections such as union rights with the lead firm. Importantly, solving misclassification issues will not help workers in fissured industries, since they are legal employees of some company, just not the company that controls their working conditions. I went over this when I made the last, go back to my last video about the franchisor-franchisee relationship, right? I covered all of these points in that video. While the Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that there are 10.6 million independent contractors in the United States, Weil estimates the size of the fissured workplace to be more than double that amount, 21, 22 million. So how would switching to a franchise model affect Uber and Lyft drivers? Let's ask that again. How would switching to a franchise model affect Uber and Lyft drivers? Law scholar Vina Dubal of the University of California, Hastings, who was recently targeted on social media by an advocacy group funded by Uber and Lyft, points to a similar 2014 case where a court ordered FedEx to stop misclassifying its drivers. FedEx responded with a franchise-like model in which it outsourced delivery routes to independent service providers, ISPs, who hired individual drivers as employees. The result was hardship for both ISPs and the employees. As the lead plaintiff's attorney in the misclassification case against FedEx, Beth Ross, put it, FedEx doesn't pay the ISPs enough to really compensate the people who drive for them. And I addressed this. It wasn't written in the last video, but I addressed it. So if Uber is setting up franchisees, these taxi fleets, these Uber operators, they will just not have enough money going around to take care of those employees. I went into great detail on the last video. Right, so hand in hand. I'm reading this for the first time, and it's exactly what we put out there in that last video. Similarly, when McDonald's franchises complained that franchisor control over their prices squeezed their profits, a franchisee reported that McDonald's told her, just pay your employees less. Just pay your employees less. Wow. The essence of workplace fishing is control without responsibility. Because under a franchise model, Uber could still impose vertical restraints to severely limit the prices, territories, and other options available to fleet owners to make profit. It is unlikely Uber and Lyft's franchisees would be in a position to raise wages for drivers. And that's why I said in the last video, I would never, ever want to become a franchisee of the franchisor Uber. You would not be making money. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Oh, I like this. Good question. Anonymous Giraffe asks, when will Uber allow you to set your own rates on Uber Eats? Very, very good question. One Daily's in the house. I welcome you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe. Uber already operates somewhat similar to a franchise in Germany, correct? And a couple of other countries partnering up companies in Germany after a legal against Uber ruling in Germany. Absolutely right. In Deutschland. So this is not an argument against AB5, the California law that would make Lyft and Uber reclassify their drivers as employees. Ending this classification is an important first step, but to solve the problem of corporations avoiding responsibilities to workers, we need additional policies. Large corporations must be forced to choose. Do you want control with responsibility to workers, or are you willing to relinquish control to truly independent entrepreneurs? This is my favorite sentence right here. This is what it all boils down to, right? This is what let me write it out here. This is what it boils down to. And I want specifically, if there's any driver who wants to vote yes on 22, or maybe comes across the video later, right? This is the sentence that I want you to pay attention to, right? Because this is really what it boils down to. This one line, right? And I'm almost done. A little bit tired here. So Uber, this is a question I would ask Uber and Lyft and anyone, right? Do you want control with responsibility to workers, Uber and Lyft? Or are you willing to relinquish control to truly independent contractors, truly independent entrepreneurs? Every day I get hundreds of text messages, comments in the various videos. I have 8,400 videos out there, so I get a lot of comments in 9 different channels. And they say, well, we want to stay independent contractors, or we want to be entrepreneurs. Wake up. Smell the coffee. You are not true independent contractors. The question is, are you willing, Uber and Lyft, to relinquish control to truly independent contractors? If they're willing to do that, we're in good shape. Because you know why? Then we are really true independent entrepreneurs. Then we're entrepreneurs. We're our own boss. Right now, my friends, you're not your own boss. A step in the right direction of becoming your own boss, because of AB5, is the multiplier, setting your own rates, right? Working for money that makes sense. SNSE and CENTS, right? These things, like setting your own rates, that makes sense, right? Setting your own rates, that's money. That's good money. That's good pay for 1 hour and 22 minutes or 48 miles, whichever way you want to look at it. That's good money. $92.27 for 16 miles or 27 minutes of driving. That's when you are going in the right direction, relinquishing control to truly independent entrepreneurs or contractors. Again, that formula needs to be for every driver, and it is your responsibility as a New York driver, as a Jersey driver, to push for that in social media. John Durham says, I'm officially proclaiming Derek Khosrowshahi the Bernie Madoff of rideshare. Let's read that again. I'm officially proclaiming Dara Khosrowshahi the Bernie Madoff of rideshare. Did you hear that, Dara? You have a new brand. You are the Bernie Madoff of rideshare. So the front says, let's talk about how Uber and Lyft should be regulated so that we can keep our independent contractor status. Okay. Now that, my friend, is the conversation the state of California has to have with Uber and Lyft, right? With drivers at the table. That, my friend, the front, is the conversation that Arizona, its legislators, its labor department, and the Arizona drivers need to have that conversation with the drivers. Because when you put the moving parts on the table, flexibility to drive whenever you want to is a must. It's a given. Okay, so we've got to tie that down, that factor, right? The ability for me, the driver, to choose, do I want to go to Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Postmates, wherever I want to go? Yes, you want that flexibility. Tie it down, precondition, right? So you put down your condition, the musts, right? Now, when you start having a healthy dialogue between the state says, well, hang on, for 10 years, you have not been contributing a single cent towards the roads, wear and tear, not paying taxes, we need to be paid. How do we address that? How do we address that? So we have our certainties, the ones that need to be in that contract, right? Then you got to say, okay, if the driver has the ability to control his rates, let's say with the multiplier, 3.5 or 4, 4.5 or 5x or 1.5, a certain percentage. This is my contribution, Dara, John, my contribution, Javier Becerra, if you want to listen in. Out of that multiplier, right, 0.5, every trip, 0.5, if you put in 2, then you get paid out 1.5 and the other 0.5 goes towards that fund, that health fund, etc. You are accumulating money. The state is accumulating money. Find a constructive way. You have 3 parties, remember, where you create a win-win-win situation. It is completely doable. It is completely doable if you allow a driver to set their own rates, and a part of the own rates is a small portion of that goes to the state, right, and goes to his or her health fund or insurance fund, whatever you want to call it, right? Uber's still getting paid the same amount. Or you structure it differently, that you say, okay, the rider has to pay 15, 20% more. Out of that 20%, 10% goes to the state. The other 10% goes towards the driver's fund for health-related issues, insurance-related issues, blah, 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 blah. You've got to find a way to make this work. Win, win, win. If the state is too rigid in their way and wants it their way, where they say, only way it's going to work is if you're an employee, it's not going to work. If rideshare thinks that they're going to just push for yes on 22, and then once they've got the yes on 22, they fall back to the 60 cents per mile. Okay, they give you the minimum wage, big deal, $15 per hour, a little bit more. And a tiny little amount, maximum I think they're talking about is maybe contributing, putting $1,200 per year into fund. That's change, man. That's nothing. That's half of what you're going to pay for a big transmission service, right? That is not the solution, folks. They got to up the game. And when I say up the game, there are other great possibilities on the table. And I hope they're listening, because this really, really makes sense. I'm trying to look at it from a business perspective where all parties win. The state wins, the company wins, a lot of the company's lawsuits go away, and the drivers are happy. It is completely, completely possible. Allow the guys in New Orleans, allow the guys in Tampa, Florida to set their own rates. Allow them to charge taxi rates on a Friday, Saturday night, 3.5, 4, 4.5x. If I am hitting a 4.5 or a 5x, right, I have no problem with a small percentage of that going towards the state and a small percentage of that going into my health and my insurance fund. No problem. I don't have to be greedy and take the whole 266. I can easily give up $20, $30 of that to the state. And Uber should have the same. So what I'm saying is, out of that 5x, let's say you're actually earning 4.5, the other 0.5 is satisfying the needs of California, satisfying the needs of that health or that insurance fund, satisfying a whole bunch of other criteria. So It's Moose has a very, very good question. He said, Torsten, with your idea, would you have a per mile floor and per minute floor? Yes, I would. I would. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're working on 60 cents per mile, right, and X amount per minute, it's not adding up. You're creating more pissed off people. The state is pissed off. The drivers. That formula is not working, right? But if you would start off with a reasonable rate, call it $1.50, $2 per mile, and then allow the driver to build. Does he want to try and get $2.50 per mile? Does he maybe want to get $4 per mile? Right? I spoke to a driver this morning in Long Beach. He charges his people $4 per mile. Doesn't matter where he goes. He'll take a lot of private people. That's his rate. You go 10 miles with him, $40. Right? 20 miles, $80. I mean, he's setting his own rate, his own boss, own TCP, right? That's his formula, right? But when it comes to the Uber and Lyft formula, there should be some decent starting point. 60 cents per mile, 70 cents per mile is not a starting point, ladies and gentlemen. Because what you're doing then with 60 cents a mile is you are spoiling the rider. You are pushing the low so far down. You're pushing the rates, right? It's the race to the bottom type of formula, right? You are spoiling these riders that they become accustomed to these super low discounted subsidized rates, that if you start trying to use the multiplier, they're allergic. Off the bat, you have to come up with a decent per mile and per minute rate, whatever you think that may be. South Coast Ride keeps on riding 5x. I'm with you on the 5x. I'm not fighting that. I think it's a great formula, that 5x for certain time slots. Dan is in the house. 3 biggest expenses. Fuel, yes. Insurance, well, okay. Fuel per month is more than insurance, correct. And number 3, maintenance. And maintenance could completely outdo fuel and insurance if something horribly goes wrong. Big transmission issues, big electric issues. can add up very, very quickly. So the front says, I'll be driving all night and morning in my area, and I will try setting my multiplier to 3x. And you're in Fullerton, is that correct? Right. So Fullerton is pretty much residential, right? Maybe you start off with a 1.5, 2x there. Get anywhere into the coastal areas, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, if you're down there. Why not try 2.5 to 3.5 if you're in a super busy restaurant, club area, nightclub area? Obviously, pandemic influences that as well. Friday, Saturday night, I can tell you what, you can go all the way up to 5x. Uber and Lyft have long maintained that they are not taxi companies, but tech platforms. That's BS, we know that. Matching buyers and sellers of taxi services. The problem, however, is that the algorithms do more than match buyers and sellers. They set the prices customers pay, determine the wages drivers receive, and discipline underperforming workers. Let's talk about this and discipline underperforming workers. Why do you want to try and punish and discipline an underperforming worker? It doesn't mean that they are an underperforming worker. It is maybe it just means that they can only do 5 or 10 hours a week. That doesn't make them an underperforming worker. Uber punishes them because they want them to do more, right? So they will not treat that individual doing 5 or 10 hours as the person who does 40, 50 hours. We know that there are way more privileges built in for the individual that does 40, 50 hours versus the mom or pop doing it on the side, maybe just 10 hours a week. You have to abolish this disciplining. This is not parent-child type of scenario. These are not kids. These are not 12 or 13-year-old, 14-year-old like our kids that range from, 11 till 16?
Yep.
These are not kids. We're not kids. So stop disciplining them. Stop punishing them. Stop giving them timeouts, right? Don't let the algorithm punish them. Treat them equally. Whether he or she wants to do 10 hours, whether he wants to do 60 hours, give them the same privileges, right? Just saying. They set the prices customers pay, determine the wages drivers receive, and discipline underperforming workers. I think that's wrong. Like post-war franchisors before them, Uber and Lyft are betting that using new techniques to control a business empire will allow them to pioneer a new frontier unburdened by old regulations. Good luck. Good luck with that approach. Getting a lot of good text messages from drivers. Thank you. There's some personal stuff here. These messages you just have to read between the lines. I mean, I love the guy. I wish him well, but there's some other things going on that we are not privileged of to hear about. So Uber and Lyft have long maintained that they are not taxi companies, but tech platforms, as I said, right? Uber and Lyft are betting that using new techniques to control the business empire will allow them to pioneer a new frontier unburdened by old regulations. The early enthusiasm over tech's disruption of existing industries is starting to wane. The future of many industries now depends on how courts and legislators answer this question Is this innovation or regulatory arbitrage? Great article. I like it. It's very deep. Nice. All right, let's see. What are we doing here now? So the Guardian takes a bit of a doom and gloom approach. They say, why Uber business model is doomed. Like other ride-sharing companies, it made a big bet on automated future that it has failed to materialize. Having threatened to pull out of California completely, Uber and Lyft recently won a temporary reprieve from orders to reclassify their drivers. The companies argued they could not come up with a plan for doing so overnight, even though more than 2 years have passed. Exactly, 2 years. So if you guys want to support South Coast Ride, go click on his link. There he is, South Coast Ride. He's premiering a video at 8:15 p.m. Why don't you go over and watch it, support it, and give him a subscribe, right? Help him reach his targets. Help him get to, are you on monetization yet? Rideshare Lisa's in the house. How are you? Anonymous Giraffe, because of AB5 is her answer. Have you hit that 4,000 hours and the 1,000 subscribers yet? Okay, so let's help him get there. This is what we are about, folks. Let's drive some traffic. Go over right now. You can come back into the stream. Go over right now. Do me a favor. Go to his channel. Subscribe. Give him the subscribers, right? Give him that attention at 8:15. Let's support our brothers and sisters and lift them up and get them to that point. We can only do it if we work together, right? Cool, genuine Phil. I know the wildfires are bad up there. Hopefully you're safe and getting plenty of trips. Thank you. Well, that's all happening more up in the north. Last year and the year before, we had it down heavily here in the South California. And apparently what I heard is that that the pollution and the pictures actually show the movement of these, this pollution from Kansas. They can see it from Kansas. That's how far they can see it right now. From Kansas. It's crazy. Canoe Chronicles in the house. He goes, hey guys, how are you? JT says most drivers are refusing to drive until promos come back and the roads are safe and passengers respect the grind. They also need to pay for the protective screening of drivers. Good points. John Durham, Dara K, either file for bankruptcy and let the slaves underperformed workers who made hundreds of billions of dollars for you go free, or be fair, pay fair. I like it. Mohammed Khalil says, good night, everyone. Be safe. Stay safe, brother. Good to see you. Tris says, I just sent you an email on Uber's ad on Google. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. Wow, I'm already at almost at 2 hours. I'm going to cut it at 2 hours. I'm at 1 hour 53. I could go on and on and on and on. I'm feeling it because I've been up since just after 4 a.m. So I just have someone who just sent me yes on 22. Okay, that must be the email. I see. Got some car parts arriving. Wonderful. All righty. Money ain't cheap. That's correct, JT. Money ain't cheap. Guys, wash your hands many times a day, please, right? Did you buy me that shirt, honey?
This one?
No, this one.
Yes.
She did. That's my cool wife to be in a few days. Are you still got your mask on? Canoe Chronicles, wish I wasn't earlier. Thanks for the great work you do. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to say thank you to Canoe Chronicles, to JT, to Phil, to Slick Nick. Slick Nick says, I'm going to try to get to Rancho Palos Verdes this week to give my small claims form and DVD with dash cam footage to the city clerk. Excellent. That's the evidence that you hand in, right? And I'm going to tell you the outcome of that small claims. You filed it. You did it. I salute you. And There's a very good chance they won't show up. My big showdown is in court this Friday, 1:30 p.m. Maybe they do show up, maybe they don't. But if they don't show up, Slick Nick, you win on default. If they do show up, they will probably try and cut a deal with you outside of the courtroom, right? You have all these costs on this one side. Judge with your evidence. I'm pretty 95% sure will rule in your favor. I know all the moving. I've helped you quite a bit on that one. We've gone back and forth, right? You've supplied the evidence. You've got the DVD. You've given the judge everything to look at. You've handed it over to the clerk. And what that tells the city that messed up your car is that you did your homework. You have all the evidence, and that means that you have a very, very high chance of winning. So here's what's going to happen. These dudes are going to pull you out and say, you want $8,000. We're willing to settle on $3,000. No. You're asking for 8, you don't settle for anything less than 6 or 5.5. 3 is, you know what? I'm pretty certain, more than certain, that I'm going to win this case and get the full amount of $8,000. $3,000 is rather insulting. If you want to double that, sure, we can talk. But 6,000 is a starting point. Maybe you guys can conclude on 5.5. If not, let's go to the judge. Right? That's going to be my attitude as well on Friday. Is rather to be cocky. Your Honor, as we convene here in court right now, right here, Uber is breaching the California AB5 law. They have no regard for the law. Let me explain. Opening statement. Judge knows that. Just have to drop the name Javier Becerra, drop the name of the California Labor Commissioner, names that these judges know. So Uber really has no intention to follow the law. Right? Set the stage. Set the stage. Adrian Guerrero, where is your accent from? I'll give you 3 guesses. Nobody else answered it. Let Adrian answer it. 3 guesses. So this part you'll probably not get right. Thank you, love. Delicioso. So Bruce Springsteen. But that's not where the accent is from. Where's the accent from? There's quite a bit of German in there. Yeah, I speak fluent German. That's true. I do speak. I studied in Germany. New Zealand, almost. Very close. Who does New Zealand play? Who is New Zealand most fearful opponent in rugby? Who are they most afraid of? The All Blacks, the New Zealand rugby players. Who are they most afraid of? No, not the Aussies. Aussies are not in the world rankings as high as the, one more chance, New Zealand, Australia, and you got it. You got it.
You got it, South Africa?
Oh my God, you gave it away. It was a kid.
I thought you got it.
She just said it. Did you guys hear it? She gave it away. There we go. Adrian got it now, South Africa, because Laura just said it. She's laughing. It's okay. She's funny. Is it South Africa? Yeah. Pretty cool country. Natalie is in the house. How are you? Been a long day. So in 1 hour 59, wow. Our house Mondays, 2 hours, 120 minutes, multiplied by 60 seconds, we have been together for 7,200 seconds. 7,200 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Boots in the house. What am I missing? Well, you walked in at the 2 hour mark. We covered a ton of good stuff. We spoke about the franchise model. We spoke about Uber Cheats, how they're cheating Uber Eats drivers out. We was talking about the yes and the no on AB5. I believe with my brothers and sisters in the room today, we actually covered a lot of territory and really, really, really good feedback. That's what I love about Our House Mondays. The people are respectful. We get rid of the trolls. We didn't have to kick out any trolls tonight. There was no name calling. It was just a really beautiful 2-hour session. And we have 40 likes and 40 people in the house. I could not be happier. Plus, I got great pasta with broccoli. Oh, yeah. So, I will see you before my first big court date, where hopefully face-to-face with the Uber attorneys, not always just on the phone and email. Hopefully I see them so I can knock them out. Now, don't worry, Uber attorneys, male and female, whoever shows up in court, I promise I'll be respectful. I won't knock you out. I'll show up with a suit. I'll have my tie on, and we can talk. We can talk like decent human beings. But know this, I need to get paid, right? So no shenanigans, no secrets, no untruths, no fake data. I'm there on Friday to get paid. So I really look forward to meeting you. Shake your hand if you want to. Bring your hand sanitizer. We can do a elbow bump, or we can do a fist bump. Whatever you want to do, dear Uber attorney. But I need to get paid. And if I don't get paid, I keep on hammering and chipping away. I cost you more and more money. I cost you a lot of money, right? I present the facts on Friday, and I have a lot of really, really, really cool facts that'll blow you away. For example, Title 17. The misuse of my name, my brand, my copyright by Uber. Pay me the money. Quote the law, the facts, the time, the hours, the this, the that, the bait and switch. All of the stuff gets laid out and put in the open. And I'll march that transcript into other hearings, other court cases. I plan to get a victory. But I'm also very respectful. I will not raise my voice. And I will gladly sit down with you at a table outside in one of the mediation rooms. I'm very good at mediating. I'm very good at diplomacy. I'm very open. Tell me how you want to handle it. I'll tell you how I want to handle it. And let's meet in the middle. And if you have some extra time, let me give you some help with the Proposition 22. Just give me 30 minutes. Because the people that I'm talking to are just under Tony West. They're not just little Mickey Mouse attorneys or paralegals. They are senior attorneys. They know who they are. They know who I am. So we shall see. Friday is going to be fun. We have to present the facts. That is true, South Coast Ride. We have to lay it out. They may not like it, and in many cases, they're not even aware of it, right? Because I don't know, a lot of these senior and special counsels don't even know what's going on the most senior level. What are they doing with the engineers? What are they writing? I don't know if all the attorneys are privileged of all the information within Uber. I don't know. I don't think so. So they might be in the dark, but I'm there to shine the light and show them this is wrong, this is okay, this is right, but that's definitely wrong. All right. Let's see. Natalie says working in Monterey County. Wow. How's that? Okay, give us some feedback there, Natalie. She's in Monterey, all the fires around there. How is that working? Is it affecting your work? Is it affecting your health? Is it hurting business? Are you able to be essential? Oh, Laker update. Hey, can we switch on the lake again? Oh, it's half time. Whoop, whoop, 30 lead, 31, 30 lead, 29-point lead. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's go, Kobe. Let's go, Kobe. Let's go, Kobe. Let's get this trophy. It's all I ask for. They lift the trophy, and there's no question who they're dedicated to. The greatest, the sweetest, the most wonderful guy, Kobe Bryant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for a great 2 hours and 5 minutes. We covered a lot. I am excited. Sherelle's in the house. She's in the other one. She's in the other room, Sherelle. I was down in Long Beach today, Sherelle, and got a lot done on my car. Got a lot done. What I'm really liking is the sound system. I'm a big fan of crazy sound systems, and it definitely is taking shape. Well, this was really nice. This was a party on the weekend with the kids, and we're having fun. Lady in red, that's my other half. Drinking blue champagne in the membrane. Let me show you another funny one. There's my Dylan, my 16-year-old. That's my little one. Danu there. That's Gwen on the outside, also mine. And then the other one is Gwen's friend, Mila. All chilling in the jacuzzi together. Here we are, all a little bit of pool time together. All the kids having fun while the parents are drinking margaritas and wine and champagne in the membrane. Blue champagne in the membrane. Sharing a little bit of my world. And these are my two amigos here. Best buddies. There's a new little kitten and the other one, a lion. They're best buddies. They hang out there together in their little... Family is everything, my friend. Family is everything. Hey, Danu?
Yeah?
Come over here.
Yep.
Come and say hi to everyone.
Hi.
That's Danu, and she started school. Are you happy with your teachers?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Like, is it like a total thumbs up, or is it like,
It's a maybe.
It's a may. So some of your teachers are a little bit suspect?
I don't know.
Are you figuring them out?
Yeah.
Okay, but are you in, what are you in middle school now?
Yes, I'm in middle school.
So you just started middle school, right?
Yeah.
Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a little not quite convincing. Can we give your teachers a big thumbs up, or do we give them like a sort of like there? It's like a Okay. Well, your dad will have a chat with the teachers and tell them to behave and listen to the real boss, because that's her. Okay, thank you. Sherelle says hi, Dana.
Hi.
And that's Dylan. I don't know why he's wearing his goggles in the jacuzzi. I don't know if he's diving in the thing, but kids are weird sometimes. Kids do weird things. That's Ryan. You guys know Ryan. He's sometimes in some of the feeds with me. And the horsies. Amigo. I am fading so fast. I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Alrighty, let's wrap it up. 2 hours, 10 minutes. 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you guys soon. Be safe, be healthy. Lots of hearts and likes back. I appreciate a great 2 hours and 10 minutes together. You guys rock. Thank you, everyone. Tris, thank you. On my way out, she slaps down 5. High five. High five. High five. I like. Do you like? High five. Have you ever watched that movie, Borat, Tris? Pretty funny. High five. Thank you. Thank you, Tris. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sherelle. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. You guys rock. South Coast Ride. Keep those 5X going. To Danny. Okay, cool. Awesome. Will do. Slick Nick. I've seen Borat. Borat is nice. I like you. Do you like me? Yeah, I'm very good. I come from Kazakhstan. My name is Borat. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy. And now I've got to... Last time I kept the other feed going. You know what's so funny? I forgot about the other feed. Let's see how much we got in that. How many hours we did in the other... How many people? Well, we got a couple. And I want to say thank you to everyone in the Rideshare Driving School channel. I appreciate you. End it there. And that is...